What is up, everyone? Welcome to tcotrading, and welcome to our first episode of our market breakdown videos. So the last 2 weeks for us have been quite slow, but you normally get that in a month. You normally have 2 weeks that are quite slow, and then the other 2 weeks, most pairs are reaching quite interesting levels for trend reversals. So in this video, guys, I'm just going to run over my top pairs for the week, the pairs that most interest me, and what I can see happening, and to get us ready for the week ahead. So first of all, guys, Euro Pound. Just on the weekly chart here, you can see we broke through resistance. We come back, we broke through again. So this is now resistance once again, this monthly resistance of 0.8900. And you can see we haven't really had a retest yet. We normally retest before pushing lower. So my short-term bias on this is coming back up to this area. But you look on the monthly chart, we've got a nice close here below this monthly resistance, so I do think we can make new lows here. You can see here we a few months ago we made a new low, and this could potentially be a new lower high now, and for a potential new lower low. So short-term bias back up to this monthly resistance for another test, but long-term bearish on this pair. So let's go down to the daily chart. So you can see we had this big leg up to the upside, and we've had this retracement now. So if we grab a Fibonacci retracement from point A to point B, you can see we're perfectly on this 61.8 now. So that's a good sign that price could go higher, or at least make a little bit of a bullish run. On the 4 hour, on the 4 hour here, you can see we've kind of been ranging the last few weeks. See the zone here? So what I'm expecting here, normally when we have a range, we normally spike to the lows, take out the previous lows before reversing. So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a spike to the lows, take out early buyers, because there's going to be loads of stop losses underneath these areas. So take out the lows, take out the stop losses, and then a reversal back up to this monthly resistance. A short-term bias up to this monthly resistance, and then I'm looking at taking this pair lower. This area here could be a good area to take a hedge trade against the long to guarantee profits, but we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. So pound CAD, it's quite choppy here on the weekly chart. If you just zoom in, we have this nice bullish engulfing here and this doji, and it's a shame we didn't get a bearish engulfing here to create that evening star. But if you look on the daily, we had this nice push up on the daily, this area here, and I'm looking at this price making more of a retracement. You see here the 61.8 lines up perfectly my weekly support. So I'm looking at price coming down to this area. Let's just mark this out for you. And then potentially along from this area. You can see the last daily candle. Just zoom in a little bit for you so you can see. We had a nice shooting star on the daily. Price is slowing down at this area. We got a monthly resistance. On the 4 hour chart, we got this trend line going up the top here, 0.1. This was 0.2, but you can see we've broken out here, so we take this as the next second point. So this area here is acting as 0.3, but what I'm looking for here, a little similar to Euro Pound, I'm looking for this spike to the upside. So the majority of people here, they would have seen this pin bar. Sorry, it's lagging a little bit. They would have seen this pin bar and sold. So early sellers, they would have had their stop losses just above this wick here. And 9 times out of 10, as I said, price normally takes out the high or normally takes out the low before making its move. So people's stop losses here, getting too eager, FOMO, fear of missing out. They want to be in the trade, they see a pin bar, they sell. So I'm expecting a spike up to the upside. You can see on Euro Pound, I'm expecting this spike to the lows. So spike to the lows, that means pound's getting stronger, which will also correlate with this. Pound getting stronger, spike to the upside. So short term spike to the upside into these areas. So letting the manipulation happen, then getting in after the manipulation, and I'll ride this down to this weekly support. but you can see I've got this trend line going across here which may act as support, but we keep that mapped out and see what happens when it gets there. You can see we have broken market structure. This was higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It's a little bit choppy, and made a new lower low here, lower high, lower low, lower high, banging our head on this previous low high. So we got that as resistance, we got the monthly resistance, we got the trend line, and obviously it's just about creating a story, you know. On the daily, sorry, let me just delete some arrows, it's getting a bit messy. I don't like to have my charts too messy. And on the daily you can see that we are making this retracement, and I can see this making a bigger retracement down to these areas. So CAD Swiss, I don't normally trade this pair, but one of the members sent a chart of this to me last week, so I added it to my watch list and analysed it and sent it to him, and it's a pretty good setup actually. So I've put my monthly and weekly key levels on. You can see we're banging our head perfectly on this monthly support. You go down to the weekly, we've had some nice rejections to the downside. 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes. So that's a good sign that price is going to make a push up to the upside. You can see we've had this big push down as well. And I'm looking for this, like other pairs, I'm looking for this bigger retracement. So let's just zoom in a little bit. So on this daily chart here, you can see we have this head and shoulders pattern. Sorry, I just delete that. So this was the left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder here. And as you can see, this was the neckline. We have broken out the neckline now. We're testing from the other side. So let me just delete that a second. Let's just drop down to the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, you can see we're making some nice rejections now from the other side of this neckline. On the 4 hour, let's just put this trend line on. So 0.1, 0.2. So yeah, I'm expecting price to make this third touch of this trend line here. So to have more confidence, you can snap on a Fibonacci from the last low to the last high, and you can see both of our extensions, 61.8 and 78.6, could be good areas for looking for longs here. What normally happens when we're approaching, we've seen this on gold last week, I'll show you in a second. What happens when we're normally approaching the third touch of the trend line? You can see market will like normally consolidate before it reaches that trend line. Let's just pop over to gold and show you exactly what I mean by that. So gold last week, we had this trend line, so 0.1, 0.2, and you see here, before reaching that third touch of the trend line, market was just consolidating, and it's quite rare you see that on gold, consolidating, because it's quite a volatile commodity. So price consolidates before it gets to the trend line, then bang, it made that move. So I'm expecting a similar situation here with CAD Swiss, but let me just clear up some of these fibs and rectangles to make it a bit clearer. So I'm expecting price to consolidate a little bit, tap into this area once more, make a spike, take out once again early buyers that have probably bought, seen this resistance get broke, now turn support. I bet a few people are in on these rejections here, so price will 9 times out of 10 take out these lows before making its move, as I said on other pairs. So I'm looking at entering about here, stops just below this last low, and has so much potential here to the upside if we can get moving. I normally only risk 1% to trade, purely because I think it keeps psychological aspects of trading, like emotions and all that, to a minimum. So you can see risking 1% will get you still a nice 7.5%, and that's only 400 pips, not too much. That would be a nice swing to the upside. So my targets here, you can see we've got this trend line going up the top, 0.1, 0.2, I'm looking for 0.3. So normally for trend lines, trend lines normally act as like a magnet for price, so price is attracted to these trend lines. So you can see on this 4-hour chart of CAD Swiss, we had this it's quite steep, this trend line 0.1, 0.2, and we broke out. So this trend line here, the outer trend line, is the next trend line that price can be attracted to. So a good thing to know, guys, the steeper the trend line, the easier it is to be broken. And obviously the higher the time frame, the stronger the setup as well, the stronger the trend line, the zone, the fib, whatever. So that's a good thing to keep in mind. So my target's being this level purely because, as I said, I'm looking for this bigger retracement. The 78.6 is up here, could be a good target. Comes in nicely with the weekly resistance, so this area and this third point of the trend line. This could be a great area to take profit, and this might even give opportunities for shorts here. So that's my view on CAD Swiss. So the last thing that I'm interested in is oil, but if there is a setup on this, which it looks like there will be beginning of next week, probably won't take it because of the higher risk due to everything going on in the world. But as you can see, oil's dropped off the face of the earth recently, so going against this will be quite risky. But you can see here on this 4-hour chart, delete that a sec, we've got this inverse head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, this head, and this right shoulder looking to be formed now. We also have this fib as well, point A to point B, and you can see this right shoulder lines up perfectly with the 61.8 and the 78.6. So after this big leg to the downside, you can see here we have made new highs. So this was lower low, lower high, lower low. Now we've come up to make a higher high, so we are looking for a new higher low. And just looking here at our extensions for good levels to take profit, because they're good guidelines for taking profit. You can see here the minus 61.8 lines up good with previous resistance. Let's just zoom out onto the monthly chart. You can see, so both of these extensions could be good areas for taking profit, but as I said, I probably won't be taking this pair because going against this is a little bit stupid and higher risk, as I said, but this could be a nice setup. So just to wrap that up, guys, I'm looking at CAD Swiss longs. I'm looking for this push into this area before taking longs. GBP CAD, I'm looking for that spike to the upside. Just zoom in a little bit. I'm looking for that spike to the upside before price coming lower, and Euro Pound, looking for the spike to the lows before coming higher. So that's about it. I thought I'd run over a few pairs for you. There's a few more pairs I'm looking at next week, but I thought I'd just run over a few for you, so I don't want to make this video too long. This video is just for educational purposes only. You can use the analysis on your own chart and see how these pairs play out. If you're interested to know more about us, we recently started up a Discord group. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, so we're quite new. We're doing the whole of April for free, so you can just join, and we're not going to charge you anything. We post our own trades there, the reasons why we posted such trades. So our idea behind it, we want people so they can earn and learn at the same time. So I'm posting my analysis, giving ideas what to look for, and when I do take a trade, I run over why I took that trade. So I'm doing videos like chart analysis, market breakdowns. We also have a chat, so all of the members can speak to each other, exchange ideas, like speak to like-minded people, share their trades, and we also give our own feedback on their analysis and what they can do better, and try and help them as much as we can. So as I said, we're doing the whole of April for free. You can use any broker you want. We're not like every other signal provider that want you to sign up to such and such broker so they can get your commission and that's how they're making money. We're not like that at all. You can use any you want. I'll leave a link below, or you can message us on Instagram. It's tcotrading. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, just message us on there if you want, and we'll send you a link right to the Discord.